If you've ever tried to improve front-end performance, you've probably done this. You run Lighthouse, you look at the score, and based on that number, you decide whether the site is fast or slow. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Lighthouse doesn't actually tell you how fast the site feels to users. It tells you how fast it's scored. And those two things are not the same. Teams trust Lighthouse because it's simple. One number, one color, one answer. Green feels good. Red creates panic. Managers understand it. Dashboards love it. Reports depend on it. But the reason it feels so safe is also the reason it can be misleading. Here's the part most teams don't like hearing. You can have a Lighthouse score in the 90s and still ship a slow, frustrating experience. And you can fail Lighthouse while real users are actually fine. Because Lighthouse measures performance in a lab. Users don't live in a lab. When Lighthouse runs, it assumes ideal conditions. Fast CPU, clean cache, simulated network. Nothing else running in the background. No distractions, no interruptions. That's useful if you want consistency. But it's a terrible way to understand how real people experience your site. Real users don't look like Lighthouse. They are on slower devices. Their phones are doing 10 other things. Their network drops in and out. They scroll before the page finishes loading. They click while scripts are still downloading. And none of that shows up in a Lighthouse score. But users feel it immediately. This is where teams get stuck. They start optimizing for the score instead of the experience. They delay work so Lighthouse doesn't see it. They defer scripts. They hide loading behind animations. The score improves. The experience doesn't. I've seen this happen again and again. The team celebrates because the score went up, but users are still complaining. Because performance isn't about what runs later, it's about what blocks the user when they try to do something. This doesn't mean Lighthouse is useless. It's actually very good at a few specific things. Catching regressions, comparing builds, finding obvious mistakes. But it was never meant to define user experience. And that's where teams misuse it. If you really want to understand performance, you have to measure what users experience. Input delay, responsiveness, visual stability. And most importantly, you have to measure this in production. Because that's where your users actually are. So, why do teams keep relying on Lighthouse? Because it's easy. Easy to explain, easy to report, easy to defend. Real performance data is messy. It requires judgment, and judgment doesn't fit neatly into dashboards. Lighthouse isn't lying on purpose. It's just answering a different question. The real mistake is asking it to tell you how users feel. Performance is a user experience problem, not a scoring problem. If your performance work starts and ends with a Lighthouse score, you're optimizing a number, not an experience. This channel is about the invisible decisions that quietly shape front-end systems.